Please welcome to the stage, Emma Lembke.
Hello, everyone. I'm Emma Lembke. I'm a senior at Washington University in St. Louis studying political science, but my real work is in advocating for young people in the digital world. I created my first social media at the age of 12 years old. I was in the 6th grade. I was the last in my friend group to download Instagram. And at first, these platforms, they seemed really magical, a way to connect with others, to express myself, and to explore beyond my small little world in Birmingham, Alabama. But as I spent more time online, I was met with a much harsher reality. These platforms weren't built for my well-being. They were built to capture and to hold my attention at any cost. The issue isn't just about young people. It affects us all in unknown and unimaginable ways. We aren't the first generation to be shaped by new technologies. Every transformative shift, whether it be the radio, television, or the internet itself, it came with a fight for responsible innovation. And every time, it wasn't just one group, but a coalition across generations, industries, and movements that forced change. That's why I'm here today speaking for SMC, the Sustainable Media Center. SMC was built on a simple but powerful idea. We can't fix this alone. Tech reform isn't just a Gen Z fight or a parental concern or a policy debate. It's all of these things. It's a labor issue, a mental health issue, a democracy issue, a human rights issue. Every sector of society has a stake in building a better future for social media. At SMC, we're bringing these voices together, not just youth activists, but parents, educators, researchers, whistleblowers, policymakers, and even tech insiders who know exactly how these platforms were designed to exploit us. We believe that true reform requires an intergenerational and interdisciplinary movement, one that recognizes the power of young people as changemakers while also learning from those who have fought similar battles before us. The problems we're facing, they're systemic, but history has shown us that systems can change when enough people demand it. At the Sustainable Media Center, we've identified 5 core problems, the big 5, that define the crisis that we're facing. Number 1, teen mental health. Social media fuels comparison cultures, exacerbating anxiety, depression, self-esteem issues, especially among teens. Second, misinformation and disinformation. False and misleading content spreads rapidly, distorting reality and undermining democracy. Algorithms favor sensationalism over accuracy, making it harder and harder to discern fact from fiction. Third, addiction and decreased attention span. We've been trained, honestly engineered, really, to compulsively check our phones. I bet you at some point in this talk, one of you is going to have a notification, you're even going to check it. And the infinite scroll, autoplay, and constant notifications aren't just conveniences. They're deliberate psychological traps designed to keep us hooked. Next, political and social polarization. We are more connected than ever, but we also are more divided than ever. Social media algorithms favor outrage, pushing users deeper into echo chambers and confirmation bias loops. The result? A more polarized society, where productive dialogue is replaced by hostility and misinformation. The good news? Systems can be changed, but it won't change by itself. It will take collective action, it will take policy, it will take intergenerational movements. We know what the problems are. Now we need to talk about who has the power to fix it. At the Sustainable Media Center, we work with stakeholders across every part of this ecosystem, because the only way to change this system is together. For years, brands have relied upon platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook to reach consumers. But now, they feel as though they have a moral dilemma. Despite known mental health risks, most major brands continue investing heavily in social media platforms, prioritizing profit and reach over ethical concerns. Advertising dollars fuel the algorithms that promote harmful content, creating a direct link between brand spending and mental health impacts. Real change will only come when advertisers demand transparency and ethical standards from platforms that are profiting off their spending. Now, none of these groups can fix this alone. Young people are raising their voice, but they need legislation to back them up. Parents are fighting for their kids, but they need to have better protections. Teachers are trying to educate, but they need platforms to prioritize learning over addiction. Brands and advertisers hold financial power, but they need to take a stand for ethics over engagement. This isn't a fight against social media. It's a fight for a better digital future. The crisis of social media wasn't created overnight, and it won't be solved by a single action or a silver bullet. It requires something bigger, a coalition that spans age, expertise, and industry. That's why our approach is based on 3 core principles. First, youth-led innovation, giving Gen Z the power to co-design safer digital spaces. Second, multi-sector collaboration, bringing together educators, policymakers, researchers, and tech leaders to drive change. And third, sustainable solutions. For too long, young people have been treated as passive users, when in reality, they are the ones who understand the platforms best. That's why we're flipping the script. Through Activate Media, we're creating a co-design incubator where young people work alongside developers, policy experts, and mental health advocates to develop alternative business models that don't rely on addiction and surveillance, and to fund and accelerate new digital spaces built for community, not manipulation. And we've seen this coalition model work before. In the past, industries that were once deemed too powerful to regulate, from big tobacco to the auto industry, were forced to change. Now, it's social media's turn. As Frances Haugen said in her testimony against Facebook, we can have social media that brings out the best in humanity, but right now, it's doing the opposite. The intergenerational movement for a safer digital future is already growing. The takeaway is simple. Big systemic problems call for bold funding partners who ask fearless questions, remain curious about what's next, and embrace the future with conviction. We have work to do, and we're ready. I'm not alone in this work, and I'm proud to stand alongside an incredible team of Gen Z advisors and experienced professionals who are committed to transforming social media. From my fellow youth activists like Zaman Qureshi, Deja Fox, and Jacqueline Corin, we are a coalition united by a single purpose: to create a digital world worthy for the next generation. We can't build it by ourselves, but we can build it with you. We refuse to accept that exploitation is the price of connection. We refuse to believe that addiction is necessary for innovation. And we refuse to concede our digital futures to the same companies that have betrayed our trust time and time again. We know the problems, we have the research, and now we have a plan. This isn't about nostalgia for a pre-digital age. It's about building a world where technology serves humanity, not the other way around. And that world will only exist if we build it together. So the next time someone says to you, it's too late to change things, remember this. Young people are already reimagining the future. We're not waiting for your permission. Parents, teachers, and lawmakers are demanding accountability. They're refusing to accept the status quo. And brands and investors are being called to a higher standard. They're realizing that ethics and economics can align. The movement is here, the momentum is building, and the question isn't whether change will happen, it's whether we'll rise to meet the moment with the courage that it demands. Will you join us? Because this isn't about likes or followers or screen time. This is about the kind of digital society Gen Z wants to live in. This is about the values that we choose to prioritize. This is about reclaiming our digital humanity. And I believe with every fiber of my being that we can create something better than what we have today. Thank you so much.